cultural villages, 12 villages, 11 languages, and a common idea. In the late 1990s, Bert Kisses from Vakantie in the Netherlands had a vision to bring attention to village life within the EU. How interesting it would be to learn about life in other towns and to get to know other European countries. At the same time, this idea was already being developed in the small Danish village of Tommerup. Copenhagen had just been crowned the European City of Culture, and the Tommerup villagers wanted an alternative, and from this idea, the Cultural Village of Europe became a reality. Bert Kisses found out about this on the internet and made contact with Tommerup. In 1999, Vakantie became the first heritage village to open its doors and invite numerous acquaintances from various locations around Europe. Eventually, 11 European villages came together and signed the document now known as the Charter of the Villages. In the following years, each village was declared a cultural village, and they too would open their doors and organise various functions throughout the year. 2 years later, Kirchheim became the 12th and last village in the current series of cultural villages. Every year since, Kirchheimers have visited another cultural villages, lived with families, took part in field trips, workshops, and learned a lot by living in other villages. In 2010, Kirchheim was the Cultural Village of Europe, and as a direction for the future, a twinning agreement and a letter of intent were established and duly signed by the villagers. Kirchheim chose the subject of local amenities as the main topic of the Cultural Village 2010. Local supply not only in the food sector, but also on a cultural and social level. Why do people leave rural villages and move to large cities? What are the conditions required to encourage industry to establish businesses in villages and thus provide employment for the villagers? Why would I need a huge leisure centre to entertain the people? Surely the many clubs in the villages are far more interesting. Living conditions in the villages was presented, comparisons made, and certainly one or two interesting ideas were available to take home. At the same time, each village was given the opportunity to point out the one thing that is missing from their own village and would be nice to have. The first meeting was in February with Paxos and Perua, with the main topic waste disposal. What do we do with the waste we produce every day? Kirchheim presented the District Association of the Waste Disposable System in Upper Austria.
I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm also very pleased that you are interested in waste management.
Upper Austria is one of the 9 federal provinces in Austria. It has 1.4 million inhabitants. It's about 17% of Austria, and the area is about 12,000 square kilometers.
Der Bezirksabfallverband sind meistens nicht operativ tätig. Gemeinden und Bezirksabfallverband sind organisatorisch tätig und vergeben Aufträge an die Entsorgungsbetriebe. Es sind 6 Leute und wir organisieren die Abfallwirtschaft für diese Region mit 70.000 Einwohnern. Ein nationales Gesetz in Österreich schreibt vor, dass die Abfälle getrennt gesammelt werden müssen. Zwei Gründe. Alles, was zu schade ist für die Entsorgung, die Wertstoffe kommen zum Recycling. Alles, was zu gefährlich ist für die Entsorgung, das ist der gefährliche Abfall, der wird besonders behandelt.
Many things are considered as hazardous waste and should be collected separately and then delivered to a recycling centre. In this regard, Paxos and Perua are not yet ready, but are currently working to improve their own garbage situation. The opening exhibition. An exhibition on waste recycling in Upper Austria provided visitors and locals an interesting insight into the disposal system.
Paxos is about to close the landfill and take the waste to the neighboring island of Corfu for disposal. Fire, pollution of water resources, the environment in general, and high operating costs were among the negative points of the previous system.
In addition, the landfill has a disturbing effect on the landscape of the island. In Perua, they have collected used oil since 2004, and in turn agricultural firms collected it in order to prevent uncontrolled waste disposal. One project deals with the storage and fertilisation of manure, as farmers have too little storage capacity for liquid manure.
And the Quaxi has a lot of friends, and the friends are also very sad that the lake is dirty.
At one of the workshops, they saw how to teach children to look after the environment and how to make compost.
Normalerweise wird der innerhalb von ein paar Tagen ganz warm auf 60 Grad und dann fängt er an zu verrotten. Genau. Über die Wärme verrottet er. Und je öfter da man umsitzt, dann umso besser wird es dann.
An exhibition on the topic of waste was presented, and the waste collection centres in Kirchheim and Braunau were both visited. This weekend was also the first European market in Kirchheim, and many people preferred to deal directly with the producers. The fair provided an excellent opportunity to sample products from the Infidel area as well as from Perua and Paxos. In addition, there was a 3-hour-long programme presenting local traditional dances and songs from Kirchheim, Paxos and Perua.
In the evening, the hospitality between guests and families was shown with dances and the exchange of presents. Getting to know people was the target.
Intergenerational dialogue. The exchange of knowledge, wisdom and experiences between young and old has always been an important issue. Proven over again and again, to find a balance between the two groups is difficult.
We will try to give back the same hospitality you offered us during our visits in your villages.
The young people worked in a week-long youth camp on their ideas of a perfect village. They considered various proposals which they would send to the responsible person in their own particular village. The guests from Falconia, Melanomic and Vacancy witnessed an interesting presentation of their results. The youth complained mainly of a lack of infrastructure in their villages. The lack of training facilities and jobs in their villages forced them to go to the big city. Many of them want to return after their training, but to live at home or where the work is a difficult choice.
Our village is very small. We have around 350 inhabitants and a lot of young people, so these are very good things, but we also have things what we think we have to change a bit. We have a really bad connection with cities, I mean transportation. I think we need more buses and train connection. And we also thought about the connection between generations. Yes. And if there would be a bit more confidence between people, maybe it would be easier to live together. And yes, young people should live in the way of traditions, because these are very important things, but sometimes we don't take care about them.
We have to improve the cooperation between Vacancy and Kirchheim. And we thought maybe a way to do this, or something we can do as youth, is be active in the local politics. And maybe we could join the local government or something, but I don't think it's going to happen out of free will from the youth, so the government has to support this.
Ich durfte in dieser Woche das Projekt Unser fiktives Jugendkulturdorf begleiten. Ich habe dabei viele junge Menschen kennengelernt, die stolz auf ihr Dorf sind und gerne dort wohnen. Sie sind zukunftsorientiert und haben Ziele.
This week I was spending with the project our fictional cultural youth village. I met a lot of young people there who are proud of the village and who like living there. They are looking into a future and they have high aims.
Bereits im ersten Teil hat sich herausgestellt, dass ihnen wichtig ist, einen Zugang zu Ausbildungen bis hin zur Universität zu haben, gute und interessante Arbeitsplätze zu bekommen, die Umwelt intakt zu halten und mit den Ressourcen schonend umzugehen. Und es ist ihnen wichtig, die Qualität ihrer Beziehungen, vor allem zur Familie und zu Freunden.
In the first part of the workshop, we figured out that it is very important to have access to education for school as well as university. That we get good and interesting working places, that the environment stays intact, and that we treat our resources with care, and that the quality of communication improves.
Was sie dazu brauchen, sind Plätze der Begegnung sowohl für Sport als auch gastronomische Angebote. Gute Anbindungen an öffentliche Verkehrsmittel zu wichtigen Zentren für Schule und Beruf und Wohnmöglichkeiten, die auf ihre Einkommensverhältnisse angepasst sind. Ich war beeindruckt von der Kompetenz, dem Engagement und der Motivation. Die Jugendlichen haben nicht nur Wünsche an die Politik und an die Gesellschaft formuliert, sondern sind bereit, ihren eigenen Beitrag zum Gelingen zu leisten.
Provincial Councillor Doris Hugger listened to their proposal, recognised and accepted their comments, and later presented them all with their youth passes. On Saturday morning, the guests had the opportunity to choose between several workshops
Po weg! Beine weg. Alles weg. Gut, ihr habt es so gut gemacht, das machen wir jetzt einmal. Okay, okay.
So ein heißer Sommertag. So ein heißer Sommertag. So ein heißer Sommertag. So ein heißer Sommertag. So ein heißer Sommertag.
Okay, gut. Sehr gut.
In the afternoon, we visited some social service centres in the area who care for the elderly and disabled. The County Nursing Home Ried, the Mira Vita in Waldsell and the Senior Centre in Haag.
Ganz herzlich hier in Ried begrüßen und willkommen heißen. Wir können jetzt 2 neue Pflegeheime besichtigen, wichtige Sozialeinrichtungen, die hier in den letzten 8 Jahren gebaut worden sind.
The visitors from Palconia told us about the care of their senior citizens. All they have in their community is simply a meeting place only because nursing homes like ours are very rare and very expensive. Mobile services and Meals on Wheels are available in the village of Melonic in France. Another possibility to be considered at any age is a sports facility. And under the leadership of a former Austrian top athlete, in Waldsell we offer an indoor rock climbing, mountain biking, golf and many other interesting courses in the sports arena.
On Sunday morning, some visitors visited a ski jumping training center just 10 kilometers away at Höhenhut, where the young jumpers can train all year around. For those less interested in sports, a visit to the Folkhaus Museum in Ried, where an interesting tour provided a historic walk through our region.
Das Museum ist vor knapp 80 Jahren gegründet worden. Und es sind damals schon 2 ganz bedeutende Sammlungen zusammengekommen. Die eine Sammlung war die vom Rieder Musealverein. Der sollte aus dem Grund gegründet werden, um bedeutende Schwanthaler Werke, wie ist ja die Schwanthaler Stadt, also da hat die berühmte.
The second European market stood out particularly because of its international cuisine. There was wine and salami from Palconia, crepes from Melanomic, fish and cheese from Vaikensee. Our invited guests were treated to a culinary journey through Europe. The development of local supplies in the coming years was the third cultural exchange topic. We will trade more towards quality, or mentality developed that stinginess is cool. Infrastructure, innovative ideas in the local supply, country living, a good example. All of this was presented and discussed by Strobeck, Tommerup, Albera and Kirchheim. Currently at 6 different locations in Austria, neighbourhood stores with additional features such as a post office, a laundry service, a bistro, a car wash and a petrol station are being created. They are open 7 days a week and also offer regional products. For many years the village of Kirchheim did not have a local grocer, and we were very keen to bring the chain store known as Land Lebt Auf, roughly translated as living on the land, to Kirchheim. The location of this petrol station and store is on a busy main route, which is an advantage and results in a better and fuller utilisation of the facility. Food, including fresh bread and vegetables, toiletries and other items of daily use are available here and are also relatively priced. For older people and those who cannot commute daily to the county town of Reed, the store offers them a great opportunity to purchase provisions. In addition, and as a clear result of this facility, jobs have been created. An analysis of the regional management of Upper Austria initiated the topic and highlighted the structure of the local supply. There was a significant decline in grocery stores from 24,000 in 1960 to 6,000 in 2007, and after a detailed analysis of the supply situation, various projects were funded. There is now support, monitoring and coordination of projects by regional managers of local government and economy. Some projects, such as the shopping centre of Kirchheim, provided numerous attractions around the city, which in turn stimulated local businesses. Plus, there is a mobile store that travels around the villages selling all kinds of food, fruit and vegetables, etc., etc., to the remote villages around the area. At a workshop in Reichersberg, the participants were divided into 3 groups according to age and to discuss the following question. Question 1. Describe the current situation of local supply, food, other retail, trade, personal services, gastronomy, social and cultural infrastructure in your village.
Laundries, so on. What sort of restaurants, what sort of social...
It used to be.
Albra recorded an increase in retail chains. However, a delivery service for items of daily use would be desirable.
Plus, minus, plus.
Due to its size, Tommerup have no shortcomings in the local supply. Childcare is available and there are plenty of restaurants, and longer distances have to be barely tolerated.
Jetzt haben wir alles geschrieben, was es in Tommerup gibt für Laden und Service und das Nahversorgung ist. Und es gibt sehr viel, wenn man so nachdenkt.
Kirchheim is happy with the current local supply situation, as a few years ago there were no grocery store, no post office or other service facilities. This has all been taken care of by Land lebt auf. There are always jobs in the city, but more in the nearby district town of Reed. Strobeck laments the closing of the main school and the loss of autonomy of the community through administrative consolidation. A deterioration of public transport has evolved over the last 10 years, and they would like more supermarkets and restaurants.
Interessanterweise nicht nur im Einzelhandel, das jetzt zum Beispiel die Bekleidungsgeschäfte sind früher Inhaber geführt gewesen, also durch jemanden aus dem Ort. Das sind jetzt Ketten geworden und auch in der Gastronomie. What's the situation? Gastronomy, social infrastructure, cultural infrastructure, or medicine, doctors? Wie ist die Situation im Bereich der medizinischen, gastronomischen, sozialen, kulturellen Nahversorgung? Ist da die Situation besser, schlechter geworden?
Ja, geworden, dann die Optik des Geschäftes in Ströbeck, die stagniert halt und das passt nicht mehr so ganz gut in die Zeit. Die Steuern werden nicht länger von ihnen gezahlt, sondern geworden sind.
Die Optik sollte verbessert werden. In Ströbeck, presentation of the furniture, of the whole infrastructure should be.
Die Frische des Brotes ist, glaube ich, ein ganz wesentlicher Punkt eines Ladens. Ich habe das selber nicht geglaubt, in Kirchheim bei Landleitlauf ist Samstag, Sonntag ein ganz großer Teil der frisches Gebäck. Die Aufpacksache und in letzter Zeit erzählt der Betreiber Party-Ausrüstung mit Tische, was Bier und so weiter spielt auch eine große Rolle.
Last year, in the middle of the fruit season, you could only buy German or French apples in our Swedish store. So you have to ask them to get the latest things there. And that's very important, I think.
Ja, aber auch die Leute, die da auswärts arbeiten, die kaufen.
After the workshop, the Abbey of Reichersberg, which is the home and museum of the Augustinian canons, was visited. This 900-year-old abbey is an important time memorial for the Austro-Bavarian culture.
Bilder, Statuen, Messgewänder, Kelche, Möbel, Uhren, Geschirr, Waffen, Kanonen, Bücher.
Despite pouring rain, we visited the herbal garden of the family Campbell, Reichersberg. Erwin Campbell manufactures from self-cultivated herbs and spices, herb salt, teas and remedies according to the old recipe of Hildegard of Bingen, and much more.
Ja, die Liköre, das ist wieder ganz was anderes. Das war nicht so heimlich.
In the adjoining shop, we were able to sample some of their products.
Ja. Darf ich noch was kosten lassen? Ja, das steht normal. Das ist jetzt ein Petersilie.
The boards that represent the world. What child would not like to become a great actor? The three villages were given the opportunity to provide entertainment in front of an enthusiastic Kirchheim audience. The participants received great applause from all, especially the children from Strobeck, with its living chess ensemble and peasant polka.
Das Schachspiel ist nicht einfach, es ist entsetzlich schwer. Nachher weiß man erst immer, wie es gut gewesen wäre. So wollen wir es halten, wie unsere Väter schon, und wer es gut ging.
Die alte Tradition.
The last cultural exchange of 2010 was devoted to agriculture. Just a few decades ago, the rural regions of Europe were dominated by agriculture, and now there is an increased trend towards larger but fewer farms. Many tasks have been automated to work more efficiently, particularly in Austria and Italy, where there are many small companies, often in part-time farming, for which there is no longer a sustainable profit to be had in agriculture. Bystri, in terms of populated area in 2010, although larger, only 3 farms exist. In contrast with Kirchheim, we have another 11 full-time farms and another 24 running on a part-time basis. Austria and Killinghenomi mainly keep cattle, but in Kirchheim and Pergini Valdano there are more significantly pig farms. A price comparison shows that in Austria and Italy have the most expensive cereal, however. Meat is much cheaper than in the Czech Republic and Estonia. Kirchheim is a member of the Infidler Leader region, and its chairman, Alfred Schrems, introduced some of the products to the region, such as Genussregion Infidler Speck Program.
Leader heißt, dass es keinen vorgegebenen Satz an Maßnahmen zu verwirklichen gibt, sondern dass die gesamte Region eine Methode zur ländlichen Weiterentwicklung an die Hand bekommt. Diese Methode lebt von 7 wesentlichen Kernelementen, die in ihrer Gesamtheit das ausmachen, was Leader für eine Region bedeuten kann. Ansatz bottom-up bedeutet, dass die Strategie und die Projekte in der Region entwickelt und nicht von externen Planstellen und Organisationen aufgesetzt werden. Die lokale Aktionsgruppe entscheidet, ob ein Projekt der regionalen Entwicklungsstrategie entspricht.
Hans Hartl spoke about the habitat in Viertel.
Uns ist es auch ganz wichtig, dass wir immer in der Symbiose mit der Natur stehen, nicht nur Menschen, sondern auch Tiere, Wild, Natur, alles sehen wir als Gesamtes. In unserer Region, rund um Kirchheim, gibt es sehr viele schöne Naturräume. Zum Beispiel ein ganz großer Schatz ist bei uns Baumreihen, oben links blühend und Hecken. Wir legen großen Wert auf Naturräume, auf schöne Landschaft. In der Zukunft wird es uns gut gehen, wenn die Kinder lernen, mit der Natur umzugehen.
Apples and pears are pressed into juice or cider, and the company Land Obst Land have taken over the joint production and marketing for many orchard owners in our region. For Kirchheim it's the fruit, and for Italy it's the wine and the olive oil, which is produced by the farmers in both villages. Other groups visited 2 farms, Bauerhoffels and the Beekeeper Core Trail in Wippenham. Interested insights into the world of busy bees from the only professional beekeeper in the Infidel, Mr. Wolfgang Pointdecker.
Across the way and around the way we plant a lot of berries, and they are here to be eaten when they are done.
Ok, mangiate frutti, quelli che trovate sono piantati apposta per voi. Eat
The same 10 years ago in Austria we had 350,000 hives. Now we have 170,000, and in the next 5 years we goes down to the half of this. Yes, that we have not enough bees to pollinate, and there is an egg and a pollen, and bees they have no sting. Fashion is, they are so close to one flower. Rooms where the honey was inside, we take from the hives the honey, and now we have to give them food. They get now, because they need something for the winter, they need now so 24 kilos sugar, and we give this.
Ärge kiiresti rihma, kiire.
On Sunday morning, an inspection of various agricultural land and the forest in Kirchheim were afforded to our guests, especially the enormous tree affectionately known as the Kirchheim Mother. The group visited the Kunsthaus, which was installed by students from the Linz University. Other groups took a guided tour through the Knobler-Auswald, the largest contiguous forest area in Central Europe.
Suurimad metsi Kesk-Euroopas. Ja. Und ich zum Beispiel, ich bin mit
The topic local supply is a very important development for the future of our villages, and we will keep on working on this topic well into the future.
Und es war eine schöne Zeit, aber eine harte Arbeit. Man hat mit der Natur leben müssen.
They could watch a harvester at work where in just one operation a tree is cut down, the branches removed and finally cut to the desired length.
Jetzt hat wieder einen Baum umgeschmissen.
A visit to the fruit garden, approximately 150 species of apple are found in this orchard. In 1990 they started to collect all varieties of fruit from the region and categorise them, thus saving them from extinction. These actions were met with a broad interest from the local horticultural society. They also focus on other sites with pears and plums, and the orchard is visited by many local schools and is the ideal destination for the children.
This is not just a place where you can look at all the trees. Of course, this is a chance for you to look at the trees from the top. You need to see the tree crown. Okay, what's happening here? Is there disease here on the tree? Or you know, you can see the animals too, but it's especially for the tree crowns.
Most of the soft fruit drinks and cider come from the company Land Obstland and can be tasted after the tour of the garden has been completed.
Is it dry? Sweet for us. No, this is a sweet cider.
To have a job is very good. To have one in the neighborhood is wonderful. Companies in rural areas are one strong argument for strengthening these regions. We visited Wintersteiger in Ried, the worldwide #1 in ski service, rental and depot solutions and field research equipment. The topic local supply has turned out to be the most important and sustainable one that connects all villages. It has to be the main topic in future, and we are all willing to continue this work. Because of many discussions between us, the focus is laid on this topic in an even more serious way. In October, the closing conference of the year 2010 took place in Kirchheim. Due to the harvesting project, the summary can be found that the last 12 years have been very successful, and the further outlook shows that the cooperation should continue. The film 10,000 Kilometers of Culture, made by the youth, and the book about change, a documentary of a really successful project with the elderly generation, was presented there.
The seniors project and the youth project is both going well with Culture Village. It would be nice to
the discussion how to go in a successful and common way and the foundation of the task force took place on Saturday. The letter of intent and the town twinning agreement was signed on Sunday, as well as the planting of a Europe tree.